All right, we are live. It's about time now here. Hey guys. So hope everybody is enjoying the Memorial Day. We've had a nice weekend. We're gonna dive into some lessons learned over our first 2 years. We've got a special guest coming on here. Let me film in, see if our audio is working. Hey Mark, we're live now, so can you hear me now? Hello, Mark. I don't think you can hear me. Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
You can hear me?
I can hear you now. Everything's back to normal. I had to reset the router and everything. I pulled it out of the wall.
Yeah, right before we were testing it out, right before we went live here, Mark's son pulled the router right out of the wall. So,
yeah,
technical difficulties. So, Brad and Christina here. Pause and Effect. We've been doing this for about 2 years, and we thought we would do a rundown of some of the lessons learned in our first 2 years of really full-time RV life. Hi, Tina. You can make one. Okay. Chris is going to make.
Oh my God.
And so we'll start kind of with how it came about for us and timing, and then throughout the process, Mark and Tina are just now getting ready to get started. Kind of a temporary full-time RV lifestyle, or they may have ran away already. I'm not sure. So how we got started. So going all the way back to 2016, about 4 years ago, we decided that we wanted to travel more, and we were talking about getting an RV, not necessarily to go full time, but to travel a lot, because I've worked from home for a long time. But at that time, I was working for a software company that had just went through an acquisition, and I knew there was going to be layoffs. So we were waiting until we saw how that played out. And in January of 2017, all the layoffs took place, and we went ahead and bought our first travel trailer, which was a 26-foot bunkhouse Gray Wolf travel trailer. No slides, starter model for us. And lo and behold, a month and a half later, they actually had another round of layoffs, and I lost my job. So I ended up getting another job that was here in St. Louis, and it wasn't work from home. So we put everything on hold for a while. That job lasted for a year. Myself and the CEO didn't get along that well. So when that job came to an end, we decided to just possibly hit the road. But we had a coffee shop and we had our house. And so we talked about what to do with the house. And basically what we decided was, let's try out VRBO Airbnb for a few reasons. One was the fact that it would generate an income stream and I could do early retirement. Second fact was we could store all of our stuff in the upstairs, lock it out, the garage, and a few other storage closets we could have internally. We wouldn't have to pay for storage. And I guess I'm not really sure what the third reason was. Why are you guys laughing? Did Chris do something?
No. No, because we've been busting. Tina's been busting her butt, packing everything up, and we've got everything stuffed in boxes and in a spare bedroom in the house that we're going to lock down. Our daughter Jaxine's moving back into the house to take care of it, and she's a police officer, and then she has another police officer in his life.
His
are going to move and take over the whole upstairs and rent it out. So we're going to have half the house rented out, and it covers like 70% of the mortgage.
It's better than Airbnb because of the virus. Yeah. And we're in a different position because of the virus. We've had to think of more scenarios and situations, and thus why we probably went with the travel trailer that we did with the fifth wheel.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a second too, because it's changed since we had you guys on a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the whole reason why we were laughing, is because you said that y'all packed and everything up. So.
You know, most people take 5 months to do this.
We took 2 weeks.
We took like 1 or 2 days, 2 months before we leave. So we're ultra prepared, but we don't have anything for the last 2 weeks. We're in a house before we leave because it's all packed. But I want to say hi to some people in here. I see Meant to be RVing, Teresa and Mike. It's about time now. Farm Okie, Culture Lifestyle Travel, K&R Destinations, Farmer Larry. Thanks for coming in. So we're just talking. We're talking about first 2 years lessons learned for us, and Mark and Tina are newbies. So basically what we did after we had the travel trailer and I left that last job there, we decided to look into Airbnb and VRBO. This was around February of 2018. We still had a coffee shop. Chris also was going through testing to be a kidney donor for her cousin. And I just said, well, let's just test it out and see how Airbnb and VRBO does. And so she did all the research on that. She put it on, was it Airbnb first?
Yeah.
Yeah, put it on Airbnb first.
Sacramento.
And no, it was before we went up there.
When I was there for testing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So she went up for testing for her kidney thing in like middle of March, maybe middle of February. And so she did all the investigation. We decided all the things that we needed to do here in the house, which one was putting a lock on the door, on a keypad lock so people could get in and out the front door. And then we locked out a few areas, and there wasn't much more to it than that. She typed up some instructions for remotes and stuff like that. And then we went live with our first rental around the third week of March. Basically, she decided she was ready. And so around 15th of March, we put it on for the third week of March. And we waited a few hours and your phone dinged.
Yes, I'm laughing at them.
We waited a few hours.
Sniffing his arm.
She was too far away, and I thought, do I smell her? Over here.
I'm like, no, I was letting you do your computer thing.
I'm here with the peanut gallery. You guys have been drinking or something, I think.
No, well, it didn't take drinking to do this. We're just comical. This is who we are.
Go ahead, Brad. Sorry. We won't interrupt the dialogue again.
So we put it on Airbnb, and within the first hour or so, we got a ding for our first booking. And I swear, for the next 3 days, her phone was dinging, 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 dinging. And we had like 10 days to go before the first booking. Well, by the time we got to that first booking, we didn't know when we were going to come back into the house. And so we still had the coffee shop. So we found a RV park in Cahokia, which is about 20 minutes from here. So it was 20 minutes away from our coffee shop as well, because our coffee shop's right over there. And so we went ahead and went over there, booked a monthly rate because we didn't know when we were going to get back in our house. And the reality is we never really got back in our house much. And so timing for us was just kind of, we decided to try it, do it. And that's what happened. Now, the bad news for that, one of our lessons learned is if you're planning a major surgery, you don't really want to recover in a 26-foot bunkhouse. So the bed was not great for her recovery. We got a new bed in there, but still, it just wasn't real optimal. The kidney surgery was worse than I think what she expected, the recovery. She was 10 years older than she was since she had her last surgery, as she's had way too many surgeries than a person should. And it was kind of a tough go. So maybe you ought to think about it a little bit more than we did, but we got to the point, we had talked about it for a long, long time, and we just kept saying 6 months might come.
Do you want a husky? What is your problem?
Husky.
The husky
That was
keeps
the
running
husky.
in. I don't know where the Great Dane went.
Get her.
Come on.
There she is.
Oh yes.
Come on.
Oh, she wants to play.
I see hello to the Brazen Brits.
She's so cute.
Oh, shh.
And so that's number one,
Oh,
timing. I would say it's kind of a balance. Think about the really important timing, but don't keep saying 6 months, a year from now,
yeah.
and then never have 6 months or a year get here and never kind of follow a dream. So figure out a way to make it work. But think about things like a large surgery like that. So if there's any questions about either one of those things, planning or Airbnb or VRBO, things like that, we're happy to answer them. And now let's talk about what you guys are doing. So last time we talked,
yeah.
you guys were going to purchase
How's that small
fifth wheel a
coming?
used fifth wheel that you guys were going to purchase from somebody you knew. And at that time, I knew Jax was moving into the house, but I didn't hear about all this rental stuff. So why don't you guys update us on the unit that you're going to get and what happened there, and then tell us how the rental thing came all about.
Yeah, so we were going to buy a pre-owned unit. It was a 2004 Fleetwood Triumph, 38 foot, with a rear living area and a front entertainment area type thing. Anyway, long story short, they sent it into our friends took it in to get it checked out, and lo and behold, it had developed a leak in the front cap, I guess, somewhere, and it had delaminated. So he was very honest. He talked to me about it, and the new roof was going to be like $7,000, and the temporary fix was going to run about $4,000. And he was honest with me, so I was honest with him, and so we set out on a journey to say, okay, what do we really need? Okay, if we're going to go buy something, what's going to be best for us? And we searched and searched. We kind of knew that if we were going to go buy one, we wanted a Grand Design, and so we ended up getting a Grand Design 381M. Brand new. Well, it's a 2020 model, but it's brand new from Lazy Days down in Tampa, and we're scheduled to go pick it up next Friday, the 29th. So
We got business approval, everything yesterday. What was so cool about it, though, was we went out on Friday afternoon and looked at a bunch.
Yeah.
We looked at a complete living without the toy hauler, without the garage, and then what we had learned and taken advice from your page, along with a couple of others like Trish and Mark. KYD. Take your time and everything. Really evaluate what you need. And reality is we are going to travel because we are not going to put pressure on ourselves. We're moving west. We don't know where, but west is very expansive. And what if we've got our heart set on Montana, but we really like Flagstaff, or vice versa? Online education, e-learning with a 9 and a 12-year-old, it just fit. The kids really did well with e-learning, with me being home and learning with online education. There's plenty of programs out there, and I'm being way more detailed, but this is the amount of detail that we had to go through as a couple with children still in school. And we have 2 German Shepherds, 2 guinea pigs, and a bearded dragon.
Wow.
And we're going to create a little cage. We
needed a garage. If I could pull a shed, I would.
So and that unit's a toy hauler.
That unit has a 15-foot garage toy hauler piece to it with the Happy Jack couches and beds, and they're all raising and up, and you can raise and lower them, and
along with a half bath in the garage.
Yeah, it's got a half bath in the garage, and then we're also going to it has washer and dryer hookups in that garage too for a stackable unit. So we'll be fully self-contained. That's kind of the reason why we went with it. And then talking to
and boondocking.
And boondocking is pretty attractive to us. So the unit we got it's big. It's 43 and a half feet long, 13 and a half foot tall. The dry weight is 15,400 pounds.
But we also really truly evaluated too as a couple. I have a 4Runner TRD, relatively new, and
relatively it
is new. And we're going to chase instead of I'm going to chase with the guinea pigs and the lizard and a child, and that way one child is in and 2 dogs are in the cab of the pickup of the dually. We're also going to chase with my 4Runner so that we understand when we evaluated all options, but we understand that there are limitations with national parks because we do want to hit Yellowstone. We do want to hit Mount Rushmore. We do want to hit those spots, but there's a benefit to not having my brand new 4Runner here in the garage with tenants, and taking it, also having the more space, but then,
I'll just point out, this is another really good channel here too. RV reviews by the Air Force guy. I know you guys have already got your unit, but those of you that are watching that have not got your unit, and actually, even if you already do, he does other tips as well. But basically, he does reviews of different RVs. So his name's Paul. He's in here now as well.
Awesome.
And Roy and Becky asked if you guys have a channel. Not yet.
We're working on that. We're working on something clever, like Directionally challenged is one that we really want. We really like. Everybody loves it, but we're working on it. We're going to work on a channel. That's our next thing. Right now it was the RV.
Well, we'll do another live when you guys launch that to let everybody know.
We'll do another live when we get the unit, probably too. Maybe, I don't know.
We're going to start taking our videos and then we're going to upload and yeah, it'll be awesome. But we would love to. You guys have been phenomenal on helping us.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. So, okay, did we cover everything as far? Oh, we didn't talk about the house and how the renting came about. How'd you guys decide to do that, right?
Okay, so
it's been all over the place.
We're wanting to help our daughter out in a situation. She did a huge job change. We're also wanting to help out another younger couple. It's not going to cover our entire mortgage. We are okay with that. We are under an HOA. It's a very close-knit community. There's some benefit to knowing that you have extremely responsible police force renting a portion of your mortgage. So we're not covered fully, but we're okay with that. One, because it's good for the neighbors and it's good for our daughter. We also checked into home insurance. And if you rent to family, there's no
change in insurance because she's on our policy anyway. So
she's an additional insured. So there's a lot more that goes into evaluating this stuff than what you would normally, we're just going to do this with Airbnb or whatever. There's a lot of homeowners insurance stuff that you have to consider and everything else. So we decided with the virus and Airbnb, especially with South Carolina and everything being closed and everything, we needed to secure. It wasn't about finances at this point. It was more about making sure our home was taken care of.
Shut that dog up.
They're excited.
that's the one thing about German Shepherds. They bark if somebody opens the door.
Say hi.
Hi.
Hi, Brian. All right. So, again, if you guys have any questions about units or Airbnb, VRBO, renting, what to do with your house, we'll take those as well. Last thing we'll say about Airbnb and VRBO for us, unless there's other questions, is that we're about 2 years into this, and except for this period of this pandemic, it's been rented 95% of the time. So in 2019, we were only in our house 8 weeks in 2019, and there was only 3 weeks up until Thanksgiving, and we blocked it out for that period. It would have been rented completely. So the good news to that is it's generated somewhere between 50 and 60K of income in 2 years, which definitely pays the mortgage 2 to 3 times over. So it's a good situation for us financially.
Yeah.
And also a good situation for us to have a home base to come to when we want to block it out. Now for 2021, I think we're going to block out some more dates and not be quite as full time. Still probably be gone 70, 75% of the time, but we're going to try to be around home a little bit more. And we both kind of like being at the house. When we've been here now, we've done quite a few projects. As you can see, this tabletop.
Yeah, my
There's no
table's missing the
tabletop. It's
top.
missing. She's redoing the top to the table.
That's awesome.
Really awesome. She's done all kinds of stuff. Redid the windows, and it gives us a chance when we're here to just kind of disconnect from travel. The dogs love being home, even though they like traveling. So Airbnb and VRBO has worked out for us. This is one of those topics that's very controversial.
Well, no. And I'm not. This situation is more for us within the next year.
Yeah.
But we are 100% about eventually renting it out to more Airbnb, VRBO, right, Mark?
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So like I said, people are very controversial about this. We would have never done a long-term rental because I've had bad experience with that way back. And when somebody's in your house for 1, 2, or 3 years, and it's hard to evict them, it's hard to get in and see if they've done any damage. They're there for a long time. Airbnb and VRBO, you're protected by Airbnb and VRBO. We haven't had to make one claim. But not only that, you're getting in your house every 3 days to 20 days usually. I mean, we haven't had that many rentals that are over 2 weeks.
No, we've had two that were,
Month longer. One was
well,
almost 2 months.
fortunately, the one canceled because that one I was a little nervous about. I just had this not good feeling. They were supposed to be here this summer for like 2.5 months, and they had a dog, and it made me nervous. But fortunately, they canceled because of the COVID thing. So,
What part of South Carolina, or where at in South Carolina?
Mike and Teresa, I'm not sure where you're at in South Carolina. Paul says he's got 2 sons in Charleston. Our daughter lived in Charleston for a while.
Nice.
what was the?
And it's about time now, says now our dogs are barking too.
Parsley ran into the window looking for whatever dog was barking.
I'm not sure if Farm Oakie's still here. At Pause and Effect, can you get Christina a hairstyle, please? Are you talking about me getting her hairstyle? I don't think
Or
so.
I need a new hairstyle.
Or you need a new hairstyle, or she needs color in her hair. I don't know. We might not want them to answer that.
Don't talk
I
about
think they're
mine.
asking, what is your hairstyle? Because they like it, Christina. Like, what
No,
the
that's
cut?
courtesy of, you have a daughter that does hair, so. She
Brad,
does-
you got balls. Hey, I got hair. Until I turn around, and then it'll blind you.
All right. So any other questions on those topics? We'll take them. Let's move on to product. What was probably the number one product when in the 2 years? I would still say it's our number one product. Besides the RVs themselves, we're now in a motorhome. We love it. But with the first 2 travel trailers, our number one product was the sway control.
Yes.
Sway control. When we bought our 26-foot bunkhouse, we actually bought it online. We'd done a lot of
On
research.
eBay.
We looked a lot at them.
We bought it on eBay.
We bought it on eBay. We got an awesome deal
For real.
from this place called Cherokee
Mhm.
in Iowa, about a 5-hour drive from us. And we
Got
bought
an
it.
amazing
Yeah,
deal.
we got an amazing deal on it. We drove up there. I had never towed a large trailer like that. I've driven U-Hauls and stuff. But we went over there, got it, and we drove back. It was windy as can be. And we got out on the road.
I was the
And
first,
we were like
I was the
white
first one
knuckling
to
for
drive.
4
I'm
hours.
like, I got it. And I'm going, oh,
She
because you
pulled
can
over
just
and gave it
feel
to
it
me.
going like this. I said, you do it.
And it had
And then he's like, well,
distribution.
maybe I should adjust the sway control a little bit. It's
So
like, oh, well, thank you.
I locked him down.
Yeah.
I locked him down, but it was just the one that they give you kind of with the.
I wasn't
RV
even going
paperwork.
over 50 miles an hour because it was just taking our expedition and yeah.
That was your problem. You should have been going 70.
Probably would have, leveled it out. Straightened it right out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kidding.
See your hairstyle.
Who?
Well, what is ours? 43.
43.
So we've already started telling people a little bit about what we're doing, and I think it's going to be a party show if Mark decides to drive his dually with the 43-foot down Allison Creek, which we live on a lake peninsula. And then he's going to try to
Back it in.
this fifth wheel into our driveway. I think everybody's going to hold your beer and watch Mark do this, because I'm sure my brand new landscaping that we just got done.
I want you to set up a GoPro camera or something.
We will.
And you, Tina,
Yeah.
you give him directions on how to back it in. So we've actually done really, really well with that. We've only had a couple of tense moments, and both times
it's at your parents' house.
and both times I was guiding her back there when she
I'll
guides
do
me.
that. You drive it. I'll get that way. If it screws something up, it's not my fault.
We've got the whole neighborhood saying, we'll help you. And we're like, oh, geez.
Best thing is to use either walkie-talkies or your phone on speaker.
Yeah.
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 But how else do you do it? I mean, when you live out on a peninsula, I mean, is there any advice out there for that? Because we thought about finding an RV park within 5 miles, 10 miles, and driving the stuff to it, but you still have to load your trailer. I mean, you
Well, we're in the city.
dishes.
Yeah. We're in the city.
We're in the
so-
city, so we've got one neighbor that's got a long stretch that he usually doesn't have anybody in front of his house, and he doesn't park in front of his house. So we usually park it there a few days before we leave, and it's a block and a half away, and then we load it up. So we do have to make
We
trips.
take multiple trips
trips.
in the vehicle. To load it up.
There to load it up.
I hate it.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Wow.
Ideally, it would be great to have it at your house so you just walk everything out. But
So we're actually considering next year probably buying some property out in the country and putting some type of a pad on it that we can kind of be. It can kind of be our plan B home base, so we can continue renting this sometimes and stay out there in the country instead of staying in the city.
I can see that.
We talked about it.
She's looking like you grew 3 heads. So
All right, let's talk about length of stay. So when we finally hit the road, because it took us, even though we were full time in the RV park 20 minutes away, we didn't actually hit the road until almost December. So 6-7 months into our full-time RV, we had to sell the coffee shop. We got the coffee shop sold, and we finally hit the road in December. And we planned on like going into 2 weeks in San Antonio, 2 weeks in Corpus Christi, 2 weeks in South Padre Island, and just continue doing 2 weeks all the way out to Southern California, and then come back sometime in the spring. We ended up changing that up after we went to Corpus Christi. Port Aransas was the RV park there, and we went down to South Padre, and we said, hey, instead of going all the way across California, let's just go back and let's spend the next 2 months in Port Aransas, because it was awesome there in December. And so we did that. January was fantastic. February was not so great. And then we ended up leaving a little ways into March. The weather just wasn't that great in February. And so then this past winter, we stayed 3 months in Florida at a place called Bushnell. And I think what we found with lengths of stays for us is anything more than a month is probably too long in one place. You start, I guess, getting anxious to move maybe.
there's no beach.
Yeah, especially when there's no beach. When we were in Florida, we weren't at the beach. That was
There's gators.
But we also did some times where we were
There
traveling
were
somewhere every
multiple
week.
gators at that RV park.
You're in Florida. There's going to be gators.
We're going to have them here in South Carolina all the way to Florida. Yeah.
See, that's why I don't come there.
well, we're going to Montana. Bears.
They're cute. At least you're going to die from something cute. See? That's my logic.
Squirrel.
Our ideal is 10 days.
We're talking about how long to stay.
Oh, you were moving the thing and making
Yeah, because
her
it's
stop
about the
talking.
topic we're talking about.
That's good. That's
We
good.
spend and Diana, 10 days, 2 weeks long seems too long for this. So,
Depends on what
yeah, that's kind of what we're finding too. But I think really 2 weeks or 2 full weeks with 3 weekends is kind of optimal for us, because I do work during the week. So when we were traveling like every weekend, I felt like I was working 7 days a week, because I'd work 5 days, and then we would travel 4 hours on Saturday or 5 hours on Sunday or whatever, to get somewhere else quite a ways away. And I think we've decided that do shorter travel, so I can travel in the morning before I work, or in the evening, or at lunchtime, and enjoy our weekends. So 2 to 3 weekends at an RV place is optimal for us. And you guys had a question around, do you have to get reservations ahead of time? And I think a lot of people
time of the year.
Yeah. And I'd be interested in what everybody in the room thinks about that as well, because we really haven't had to most of the time, but a lot of times we're going to a destination and then staying for a while. And the destination, we will have reservations, but the whole trip there, we don't have reservations. We just stop and stay. And it's especially easy now that we've got the motorhome, because we've got the ability to boondock. When we had the trailers, I told you the horror story about Oakley, Kansas last time, but
Yeah. I think that's why we upgraded.
I diverted my complete trip, so I don't even touch Kansas. We're going from here all the way to I-90 and go across.
We kind of like that cooler weather. This 100 and something degree weather with like 90% humidity. Oh my God, we're dying already.
So they don't want to wake up with the taste of
Yeah.
Cow poop in their mouth.
You don't want to stop in Oakley, Kansas without something to run your generator. Keep
Fine.
because you literally do taste it. I mean,
You're
there's
lost.
a huge dairy farm there. So let's see.
And if anybody needs a generator, I own 4 now.
4.
4.
You got a Honda Super Quiet now?
I bought a
He did.
I
before.
bought a Predator 3500 the other 2 days. 2 days before I bought a fifth wheel with the own-in on it. I had gone down because I still thought I was getting the used one.
Yep.
And I was really concerned that we weren't going to be able. So I did a spontaneous buy, and I went to Harbor Freight and I did some reviews, and I was like, you know what, it'll be good if it lasts for a year. It's $600 and I'll do it. So I went down and got it.
Plus, it was on sale.
And the day I bought it, plus it was on sale. So the day I bought it, I found out that this one we were going to get has a leak. And I'm like, okay, now what? So, and then we talked and we decided we're going to get new. And then some of the new ones don't come with generators. Most of the toy haulers, at least from Grand Design, do come with generators in them. And since that's what we got. So if anybody needs a good, decent with 2 hours of runtime for breaking it in on it, I've got one that I'll sell for, $500.
There you go.
Because Harbor Freight wants to charge me $200 to return it.
What?
Yeah.
Stocking fee.
Restocking
fee.
Restocking fee and virus, and they have to clean it. And
Anyway, so I'm probably going to take it with us and put it in the garage. And if I find somebody in an RV park that's dying because they don't have one, I'll make them a deal.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have a problem. Our Epic RV Adventure, hello guys, and Jessica says hello, Mark.
Hey guys.
Girl there, that's our daughter.
Hey Jessica.
Farm Okie says they're actually getting their hair cut.
Oh.
Weekend RVing is another channel who Millie just had surgery, breast cancer surgery last week. And they're actually, this community raises money for different people in needs like that. And they've raised, I think, I'm not sure how much they've raised right now, but they've got a target of $3,000 to the PayPal account there. I don't have the link, but if somebody wants to, I don't think we've got any
link. We're between Fred's with stage 4 cancer, stage 4 metastatic breast cancer, and my family history of breast cancer. You send us the link.
I'll do that. All right, let's see.
That's a soft spot with me.
And then we've got Brad and Diana. It's now say that after they've been someplace a couple of days, they just start looking for the next place. Yeah. That's fun, and I imagine someday that's probably sort of what we'll do. It adds a new twist to that whenever I'm working and need to have Wi-Fi, and I can look at my schedule and say, okay, this day looks like it's going to be a light day. So we can do that sometimes.
Has anybody, what are we doing with internet? That's the one question. We want to make sure.
Well, Brad and I've talked about that. I have unlimited Wi-Fi through the truck, but if the truck's not running, the Wi-Fi's not on. That's what I realized. So
that's a problem.
So one of the questions that I do have, I can run my hotspot on my phone, but it has a max of 30 gigs a month.
Yeah, you'll blow that away.
Yeah.
With kids online education too,
Yeah, there's a channel, YouTube channel called Technomedia, and they do all kinds of reviews on internet and phone services. I can tell you what we use. We have, that was the dog's tail. I
thought that was Chris back there doing this.
No, that was the dog's tail. She was petting the dog, and the dog's tail was slapping the cabinets. We had AT&T hotspot. We had a Verizon hotspot. I actually first went out and got that Verizon hotspot, and I got an unlimited non-throttle hotspot. This was a couple years ago. I don't even know if they offer that. I think they do, but it's unlimited, but it's not unlimited for one price. It's unlimited, meaning it's not throttled, but you pay for every gig, right? So they give you like a 20 gig plan for $70 or something like that. But then it was like $10 for every gig over that. And so the first couple months I used it, I was paying almost $400. But at that point, it was the only way to make sure I had unthrottled internet. And Mark, in what we do, we're doing video conferences all day long. So it's very important. I then found some unlimited resellers like OTR Mobile. OTR Mobile is who we found, truly unlimited on AT&T. We went with them. It's been pretty good. The service is good. They've had some challenges where they tried to switch from AT&T to T-Mobile, and it failed miserably. We never did make that switch. And then they realized how miserable that was going to be, or how miserable it was. So now they've offered an AT&T plan as well. So now we're switched over to their new AT&T plan. So it's about $80 a month, fully unlimited, fully unthrottled. OTR Mobile is what it's called. There's some other ones as well that you can look in. If you type in unlimited internet, or actually go to Technomedia, they'll tell you about all those different ones and which network they're on. So after that, Verizon now offers an unlimited plan, but they throttle it after 15 gigs. So I've got the truly unlimited OTR Mobile, which is AT&T network, and I've got the Verizon unlimited for a backup, because in some places Verizon's better than AT&T. But with those two networks, pretty much everywhere we traveled, I've been able to limp along at worst doing a demonstration.
Do you have any boosters or anything like that you put? I know the RV park internet's horrible, so there's not any point trying to even connect to those, is there?
Yeah, actually, that's one of my points here. So we learned in the 2 years, RV park Wi-Fi sucks. Have your own Wi-Fi. That's one of my points here. So there's one KOA in Waukegan, Kansas. If you're going across 70, they've got rock solid internet. I was getting 35 megs above there. So I mean, it was perfect. But everywhere else, man, you're lucky to get a meg or two, or even have connectivity issues. At least that's been our experience. So we have our own Wi-Fi.
Okay. The other, I don't know if we want to move on to another question. I have one other question that I think
go ahead.
is utterly important, at least for us, because of the size of our rig. But and I'm asking this question because the last thing, if I use Google Maps on the phone, hello, I have Apple CarPlay in my truck. But if it leads me down a road, I'm 13.5 foot tall, and I run into a 12.5 foot tall bridge, and I have to back 6 miles up, I'm going to be in trouble.
So if you run into the bridge, you mean physically run into the bridge?
No, I mean, if I realize and I don't run into the bridge, I'm still in trouble, because now I got to back down the road 6 miles, right? So
yeah.
I know the big rigs and stuff. So is there a app or a path, I guess a driving map app that you can put in heights?
Yeah.
There's into account all of that?
Well, but all stays, you can't see it. All stays lets you select your lowest clearance that you can go through.
Okay, all stays.
Yeah.
And I think there's another one called Trucker
Yeah,
Frame.
but I've had the
like
most, as far as RV related, I've had the most success with this one.
And we didn't really have to worry about that too much with our first 2 units. I mean, they weren't that tall. We also enjoy taking the highways instead of the interstate. So when you get a unit that's 12.5 or 13.5, like you guys have, yeah, you're going to run into some stuff. So I think you want to check those routes. And then just somebody also said, put a sticky or something up, right on your dash or something. So you're not. We constantly go, how tall is ours? How tall is ours?
12.9.
It's 12.
We just say 13.
12.9. So we just say 13. Anything that's under 13, we're going to hit the brakes. We had one that was 13, and we went through, puckering a little bit, but we didn't hit anything. So it's under 13.
Yeah.
Hey, Art of RVing. Thanks for coming in. Your rig is 10 feet. You guys smooth sailing there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fun channel, Mark. They, if you like to laugh, they're a fun channel. All right, and let's see, what else do I have on the topic? What else did we learn? Taking highways is much nicer than interstates, and it helps you stick to that. Let's go slow, right? Let's enjoy the journey. Let's do 55, 60, 65 maybe, instead of trying to be 75, 80 on the interstates. Another thing we learned was right off the bat, even though boondocking sounds nice, when you got a travel trailer with one battery, boondocking even for one night, even if you're not going to run the air conditioner, at least on our unit, didn't really work. So the batteries get too low, it damages the batteries. I replaced 3 batteries, I think, the first year in that one, because there was no monitoring system except the little lights. And before you know it, it's drained the batteries too low and you've damaged the batteries. So without a generator, or solar. Boondocking wasn't really good for us on either travel trailer, but now we've got the generator, so we can boondock just fine.
I hear her licking.
Another one. RV mattresses suck.
Yeah. We're taking our foam mattress.
Yeah. We've replaced every one, so fairly quickly. RV mattresses suck. So like I said in the beginning, she had the surgery right on the bat and in the beginning, and that's what made us go get a new mattress right off the bat. And since that time, each time we've got a new one, we've either got a new one or switched over the one that was in our previous unit to the new one. And Farm Okie says, old style atlases map at Walmart. Does it tell you do atlases tell you the height of overpasses? I think it does, doesn't it?
I don't know.
I don't even know if I can see it on the atlas though. It's so tiny. You notice I don't have any glasses on?
What'd you do? Get surgery?
Contacts.
Oh, you're wearing contacts now?
Nice. We got our eyes checked last week. We found out how blind we really were.
Blind, they really are.
Oh yeah.
So they're blind.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
We got a puppy
We figured that was
mattress.
important so that we could see the signs above the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm enjoying not wearing glasses, especially if you're like putting air in the motorcycle's tires or something where I've got to get down low and my glasses are doing this or that.
Yeah.
But I have not been a fan of putting them in the mornings. The first 2 days I couldn't get them in. She had to put them in. I got them in successfully today. Actually, the first day was kind of bad. The second day was horrible. I was snotting and crying all over the place.
Here she comes. What are you doing?
Okay, we do have, there's so much, and we've done our research. We think we know what we're doing. This was brought up, though, at the last conversation. We think we know what we're doing. We think we don't know what we're doing, but we think we know what we're getting based on wants. Self-sufficiency, washer, dryer. This has its connection, and it's not limited. There's a truck or GPS.
Yeah, that's the app. I can't remember the name of it, but if you put in like Trucker's Friend or, if you just did a search for Trucker GPS app or something like that, you'll also find those apps to try out the bridges. But like Chris said, all stays.
All stays. Okay.
And, Teresa and Mike say I need to get my hearing checked. Actually, this one's not working. I went in and they said it was working, and it worked for a day, and now it's really not working very well. So I have hard of hearing. I'm almost completely deaf.
That's probably a good thing.
No.
Huh?
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you
I
doing?
know he wishes he had earplugs when it comes to me, but
Huh?
it's okay.
Yeah, well, when we've got the kids and the grandkids over,
Or one of our son-in-laws.
or
Oh,
anyway,
that could be
Are they out here?
I will watch him turn his hearing aid off so he doesn't hear anything. And the house is crazy chaotic. Yeah.
I just sit there and
Not
relax on my
cool.
easy chair.
So we just
Okay.
our earplugs for airplanes and stuff like that. Anyway, has anybody had an experience stackable versus single unit washer and dryer? Vented or ventless?
I don't know about Bill. I know that our friends Don and Nelia, they have stackable. I don't know if it's vented or not.
We don't know. She does the
Y'all don't have a unit in your motorhome?
No.
Are you looking at it?
I don't think we haven't really talked
No.
about it much. She says she doesn't mind. Just we've got a wagon. She just carries it up to the
Laundry.
whatever it's called. Obviously, I don't
the
do
place
much of
that
it.
washes the
And
place.
she does the thing that does the thing, and then she brings them
cooks.
back and does this and whatever that's called. And sometimes I have to put them away.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I do put them away. So if anybody in the chat has experience with a washer and dryer, in their units, let us know. So it's
And the only reason why this is important for us is we're a family of 4.
yeah.
And when we were talking to some of the campsites in some of the locations with states with the virus, such as Montana, a lot, and what we've realized when even going to RV searches here within our state, there's a lot of gas stations that don't have public restrooms open or laundry facilities or that kind of stuff. So what we're going against is needing to go out west to secure land or property for purposes of new housing, but we're also having to deal with the closures, the state closures.
Yeah, all the places in Montana and Wyoming, both that I called, said, yes, we're open, but our laundry facilities
And public bathrooms.
and public bathrooms are all shut down.
Yeah. Carrie loves the trucker maps.
All right. So
Why did that make you Google?
I don't know.
Gosh. Oh, here she wants.
If you have dogs,
Here they go.
you guys have dogs. We have dogs. As you can hear them getting ready to go crazy back there.
We love it.
Oh,
We also like to ride motorcycles, or have a date night now and then, and or even like one night we went to bike week, so we left and went. So we use rover.com. So if you need pet sitting or pet boarding services, rover.com, rover.com.
they have an app too.
Do they do kids too? Like as long as they're kennel?
Put a collar on them, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably not.
You know what? If we were 20 years ago, Mark, we'd be doing the shock collar thing, the dare or something like that. I've seen
Gosh,
dares with shock collars, but we stuck with
not
like
the dare. I just wish we would have raised our kids with shock collars.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know it, Mark and I go back 25 years, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
25 years. And our relationship for purely the first 10 years was very competitive about who could do something stupider, like drinking a whole bottle of Tabasco sauce or jumping off of a bridge in November that had iciness around it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said, we're dancing with a man.
Oh, that wasn't a dare.
What did you say, Chris?
Dancing with a man.
Ah!
Or the Israel picture.
Oh God!
Oh, I know that one's great too.
That's not for our live version.
Purim.
Well, that's not a lesson learned in RVing. We'll have to revisit.
That's not RV
No.
community appropriate.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's our other channel.
We'd have to get 10 thumbs up in
We're
the.
very comical. We're very just chill. We
Yeah,
like to laugh at life, and so for all those that are listening, we love life, and that's why we're doing this. We are doing our retirement dream 15 years earlier because we have that chance, and we're doing it. We've invested in it. We've secured it. And all we have to do is wait on delivery. And we're praying. We're excited. We're taking our young kids to actually see the national sites. And there's a lot of bonuses behind this with education.
Mm-hmm.
And
Come here.
so whatever tips that you guys in your newbie years have learned, we will embrace. So much has been learned so far just because of these forums, and it's extremely helpful for us. So we're blessed that we purchased a vehicle or a trailer, a fifth wheel with enough room for the family, 2 dogs, 2 guinea pigs, and a
this is
lizard.
supposed to be about learning about what not to do and what
to do. I mean, what we learned today by visiting one forum and what we were talking about was maybe putting the trailer over in the neighbor's yard, but we've gotten over 8 inches of rain here in York, South Carolina. And so like a 15,000 pound vehicle or a trailer will settle. And how do you tow it out type thing? Those don't do's. We're looking for that.
Well, like we had the trouble the one time with our last trailer pull behind at Janelle's. Remember, it sunk.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We kind of had to rock it to
Yeah.
get it out. Yeah, it was not cool. I was like, "Are we
And
gonna
then
get
actually-
out?"
Keep Your Daydream got stuck and had to
Yeah.
get it to
I saw that video.
episodes.
Where
Um,
else was it that we almost got stuck at?
I can't remember anywhere else.
Oh, it was in our Class A. Because I remember the mud on the tires. Maybe that was Janelle's too.
Really? I don't remember
Mm-hmm.
that. Back to the point of RV parks being open. So Utah is open, which that doesn't necessarily mean that all the RV parks aren't going to have some limitations. They were at a park that had all amenities open here in Ohio. We also know a guy that work camps in Iowa. They just opened up theirs. They sanitized the bathrooms. They reopened everything as well. So I do think that you guys are leaving here in a couple of weeks.
I think everything will be open by the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the way out, it's not going to matter as much, I don't think, because you're probably going to be not staying for long periods as you're going out there. And then by the time you get out there in mid-June, hopefully, I definitely wouldn't make the reservation unless they confirm that stuff's open. That's for sure.
Yes.
Let's see what else here. I see Castle Hives and Runaway RV Nesters, Scott Jacobs, a few others that just came in the room. Thanks for coming in and joining. Let's see what other questions we have here. Or if you guys have any questions, I've got a whole list of stuff.
What kind of toilet paper do y'all use? It's a simple question, but I mean,
No, it's not stupid.
a lot of people ask that, or a lot of people buy the RV toilet paper, and I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I'll tell you what we did, and it's worked fine. We didn't buy the RV toilet paper; it's a little bit more expensive. Chris found something somewhere. I don't know if it was on one of the channels or she just researched it, where you could do a test and get the toilet paper that you like, put it in a jar, and then shake the jar or swirl the jar, and if it breaks up, with some
not
water.
by itself.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of pointless toilet paper otherwise.
And if it dissolves,
crack me up.
if it breaks down in like 20 or 30 seconds, then you're probably
Yeah, it's
safe.
fine.
And so we use like Charmin, 2-ply,
No.
Cottonelle,
Come
something
on.
like that. It's nice. We've never had any issues.
We use
I
Scott.
have a family of 4 here.
You use what?
Scott single ply, 1,000 rolls a sheet, 1,000 sheets a roll. Feels like sandpaper. Makes you smile.
Yeah.
And you got a
no,
family of 4 to keep those kids in line, right?
That's right.
A son that eats a lot, and I'm not gonna say the
Yeah.
results of that.
That's why we got.
It comes out.
And like I said, there's different opinions. So the
Yeah.
RV stuff is available as well. If you want to go that route. Also, here's another tip that we didn't really have covered in here.
That's
And we don't necessarily say miles, we more say time. And I usually say I don't want to be in there more than 4 hours, but we've done plenty of days that are around 5 to 6. I think once or twice
Yeah,
we've done more than
it
that.
depends on where.
Yeah, it depends on where. And it depends on if we're by ourselves or if we have the grandkids with us. I don't think we're going to be doing it.
I'm
8
scared of
days.
that.
or construction. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what
And weather, if it's raining or windy, yeah.
time. Okay.
All right, let's see here. The other thing for us was I like to plan, and Chris likes to also have a plan now and then usually, I think, or I don't know. You start going crazy if we don't have a plan, but then when we have a plan, you're like, we don't need a plan that much.
Okay, but my plan is this is our final destination. His plan is every hour of
Only
each,
with the grandkids.
of each day until we get to that final destination.
Only
And that just makes
not-
my
no, no,
head
no.
go.
That's only with this one.
Because
Agreed.
he doesn't do change well. So if I go, I don't want to do that, he's like, what? Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Yeah.
So similar, because I'm very OCD. Like my trailer and everything's there's going to be spaces for everything, and it's going to be.
It has to be, really, because otherwise you're in a tiny little space and nothing's where it's supposed to be.
That's fine.
That's true, and because I'm limited now on planning, or I can only handle so much planning.
I got.
Right.
Yeah. So here's my point.
Oh, here's the
It
one.
says best made plans. So planning is good to a point. And my Example of that is
Okay.
we always have a plan. This is what we're going to do.
Let's show
in
your
fact-
slideshow for our experience coming up.
In
You
2008,
think I'm kidding?
in
He's
2008,
made a slideshow of our stops.
we sold everything, kicked our kids out. They were grown. We kicked them out.
They were
We
grown.
sold everything and said, you have no place to stay, and got them out on their own. And we were going to go travel. We had a tent that attached to the back of our Tahoe or Expedition or whatever we had. Well, what happened was one of our daughters got pregnant, and so we decided not to do that. And that was our first talk 15 years ago on doing this travel thing, and then 10 years later. So that I'm talking about best made plans. My second example is more relevant. When we went and bought the first travel trailer, we got it, and I'm thinking, I love this. This is going to work. We're going to have it. I went to the DMV. They had where you could either pay for the year, or you could get lifetime plates, never have to go to the DMV again.
Don't do that.
And it was about the cost of 2 years. I figured we're at least going to keep it 2 years.
We've had
We kept
three
it a year.
units.
We've had
in
3 units
2
in
years.
3.5 years. So
You know,
best made plans,
just
right?
saying.
Yeah.
You guys probably not. We
No.
started out small.
Yeah, we bought the cheap stuff the first time too. So our first RV, we bought brand new 26 foot bunkhouse, $12,000, brand spanking new. In fact, we bought it in 2018, and it was a
And it was a
2019
19.
unit. We bought it
Well, because when we got there to pick it up, there was something wrong with that one, and all they had was
a brand new
the
2019.
brand new 2019. So we got it for the same price.
So we kept it for about a year, put quite a few miles on it, and when we traded in, we got $13,500 for it. So we made money on it, which that's
Sweet.
that's unheard of in this. But it's just because we did research and got a really good deal on the first one.
We just knew that the one that we were entertaining, we were going to lose $5,000 to $7,000 right off the bat if we ever decided to trade it in. And in our minds, that just
Well, we're going to lose more than that on this.
we're
one.
going to probably get a new one. If we don't keep it, we're going to lose. I mean, what is it? Normal new RV, 40% right off the top as soon as you drive it off the lot. I mean,
Okay, we don't need to talk about
we don't need to talk about it.
You're going to make him sick.
it. I'm going to throw up my mouth in a minute, okay? I've had indigestion since I said yes anyway. So.
Well, and that's what we want to do, because where we're at as a family, we're not now, because we bought bigger, we bought what we needed. We think nobody
You
ever
can't
knows.
buy bigger.
No, you can't. But
The dog's in the shower.
spontaneous, the dog is in the shower.
Yes.
Did he turn the water on?
No.
Ours can open doors. We figured that out today.
It's a walk-in shower.
So I think that this Maricarl USRV, that's true. That's what we want, is we want spontaneous, and always expect the unexpected. I think we're prepared for that. I really do.
Who are you?
That's probably the best advice. Enjoy the journey. Go slow.
I've never
Roll
been
with the punches.
spontaneous. I've never been spontaneous. I'm so OCD, and I think that's what's so freeing about all of this.
Yeah. Go slow.
Yeah.
Enjoy the journey.
And like they say, that everything's not always going to go as planned. And
Right.
so when you have those little dips, to just still,
Yeah. Stay
Enjoy.
even keeled.
like when we
Roll
had
with
the
the
flat
punches.
tire.
And stop at the distilleries.
Yeah.
All right. So there was another one I think, Mark, you asked about, and there might be some people in here that have some experience with it. It's around all those different clubs: Good Sam's, KOA,
Oh, that's what we need to add.
Escapees. So we don't have a whole lot of experience. So we got Good Sam's when we bought our second trailer from Camping World, and we used the discount here and there at a couple campgrounds, but we tried roadside service one time,
Sure.
and I
We're still waiting for them to call.
we're still waiting for them to call us
Who
back.
was that with?
Never called back.
Good Sam's.
So
Oh, Christ.
I did the roadside service, and then I went ahead and started changing the tire, waiting for thinking that it might take them a long time, just seeing if I could get it changed.
We'd still be in Texas.
Yeah, and I got to change. It took me about 40 minutes to change the tire, and
I already did Good Sam, so I screwed up there, but whatever.
yeah. So we didn't do Good Sam's roadside. We didn't renew it after the free year that we got. KOA,
We've gotten the most out of KOA.
we actually have gotten the most out of KOA. A lot of people diss them, and they are more expensive in some cases. We probably didn't stay at KOAs right off the bat when we were on a tighter budget, but sometimes we do now for a couple of reasons. Usually, if they're going to have a good Wi-Fi, KOA usually has a little bit better than a lot of the non.
When you got kids, they've got rocking
They got
amenities.
a lot of amenities, and when we got the grandkids with us, or we're traveling with the grandkids, we'll stop at KOAs. Or if we're just driving and we're just tired and we just want to stop at something that's right on the interstate, there's a lot of KOA journeys. The journeys are right on the interstate, and so we've gotten, I don't know, a whole bunch of $25 discounts because of staying at those.
Yep. The one time I cashed them in, we got I think you can only use $50 off max each time. But I mean,
So we have KOA, and it's pretty decent. Let's see, we've got a couple here. They've got a AAA plus RV, and KOA here, and they also have a military discount. I guess, Mark, you're ex-military. I guess you can say their campgrounds as well.
Everywhere, yeah. I already knew that I made a mistake because it's non-refundable. I jumped early, and about a week ago, I didn't even tell you this. I got the good thing. It was like $250 for the year. No, for 3 years.
For the good plans?
I have no idea, but once I did it, I started looking at the parks, and every one of them said 10% discount. I was like, yeah, and then I'd read further, and it said same discount applies to military, ex-military. So I was like, what crap?
And you can't double it up.
But we are going to do Harvest Host. I know that because I think that's like $50 a year.
Harvest Host?
Yeah, and I think that's
Harvest Host and Boondockers Welcome. We did, but we never used them.
Which both of them you have to. You have to call.
We heard that both of them recommend 24-hour notice, and when we're traveling, we don't really have things planned. But I did talk to somebody the other day that said they don't do that with Harvest Host. That a lot of times they'll just check an hour before they get there and make sure it's fine. What?
Somebody's out of food.
Oh, the dog's kicking her bowl or dropping her bowl because she's out of food. But yeah, Harvest Host, that might be something we try again because there's a lot of cool places you can stay at.
Yeah, the wineries and the breweries and the distilleries and places like that, I think, is what I've been reading. So.
Yeah, you might check because a lot of the channels have affiliates with some of these groups, so you can get a discount to sign up. You can pay less.
Yeah.
And support some of these other channels as well.
What's Boondockers?
It's kind of like Harvest.
Boondockers Welcome is where people that if you guys could do this, right? So if you put in a pad or 2 pads at your property when you get it, you can get on Boondockers Welcome. People can come and stay at your place, and they usually buy you a gift or something like that. And usually it's just a one-night stay. So they're just traveling through, they stay at Boondock, and then they go.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So another one, a couple more that I've heard of. Well, actually, we have experience with Thousand Trails. I would say Thousand Trails probably would work and be very, very good for people. I know there's probably some people that travel full time and they'll get their 2 to 3 weeks on Thousand Trails every month, or may have figured out a way to do a little bit different. So you can only stay there 14 straight days, right?
14, then you have to be gone for 5.
Yeah, 14 days for 5 or 7, and then you can stay at another
7.
The problem that we had when we had it was because of my work and needing to be close to an airport. They weren't always very optimally located that would support that. But if we didn't have that issue, we probably would have saved that ton of money.
We had some beautiful ones set up last year.
We stayed at one at Crescent Bar in Washington. Absolutely gorgeous. We stayed there for 4 or 5 days. It was fantastic, right on Columbia River.
The problem is that there are no Thousand Trails in Idaho, Wyoming, Montana.
No.
I don't think there was any. I think it was Oregon, California, Washington.
Well, we need to do a Boondockers or something. So when we get property, we'll.
Yeah, we're planning on it. And
seriously, we'll. Yeah.
Mark Eric Peterson has a lot at his house in Arizona as well. So just keep that in mind.
Cool.
Yeah. He's got a huge toy hauler as well. Okay, so we're a little past time here. I think there's a couple more questions. And the dogs are running out. They're like, time's up. It's time to play with us. I'm not sure if I don't think there's any questions in here. Somebody said Harvest Host went up.
I'll be right back.
Oh, went up to 79.
Oh, went up to 79.
So there are a lot of controversial topics. talked about the one. You'll see if you're involved with some of these channels, and I don't get caught up in these because I'm kind of like Switzerland. I just abstain. I kind of go with what I go with. I do my research and I go with it. Not to be rude, but I don't really care what anybody else thinks. If once I've done my research and I feel what's right for us, we do that. And one of those topics is tow vehicle. So when we had a tow vehicle, we had an expedition. We were towing an expedition. I don't know how many people said, you can tow with that. It was a 6-cylinder, I can't remember, EcoBoost 6-cylinder, and the thing did fine. I mean, we hauled it all the way across to the Pacific Northwest and back, and I think our trailer was 5,300 dry weight. We had a 7,900, I think, or no, we had a 9,000 capacity on that expedition. So it's pretty crazy, and it was fantastic. But some people will tell you, you need to have a diesel and you need to have a dually. And I think everybody just needs to do their own research because I don't believe that we didn't have to for ourselves.
It all depends on what you're pulling.
Yeah, it depends on what you're pulling. It depends on how much risk you want to take. Obviously, the bigger, if you get a dually and it has more power, you're going to be able to stop faster and go better.
That cute face.
But that's a controversial topic. So just do your research. Gas versus diesel is another one, especially with motorhomes or even with pulling big trucks. So we've never had a diesel. We've always had gas. Partially when it comes to the motorhome, a lot more expensive when they're diesel. And there were no diesel toy haulers on the market when we looked. We later found out that Newmar used to make a diesel toy hauler back in 2008, 2009. And they're actually making another one 2021. Well, imagine it's 100, 150,000 more than what our gas or Newmar is. What do you think, pup?
That's Jack.
Is your dually a gas or diesel?
It's diesel.
Yeah, you're one of those guys.
Yeah.
I see how it is.
Well, I'm going to the Rocky Mountains and I'm pulling a 20,000-pound trailer fully loaded. And yeah,
some of these subjects go like this. Oh, you got a diesel? There, bye.
Yeah, exactly. We're used to Ford and Chevy and
Not to say I would have bought anything. I just got a really good deal on the diesel, so I would have been fine with that new 7.3 liter gas.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
I agree. I like the Switzerland thing. We're just kind of you do you and we do us, and we're just slow and steady with the race.
If you watch some of the channels in the UK, they do the caravanning, so they're doing their thing in things that are a third the size or half the size we're doing life in. So
Right.
Which class RV is right? So people will tell you it's class C, class A.
Class A.
And we've only had travel trailers in class A, but we both are like, we love the class A, the class A toy hauler.
Those are impossible to find.
Yeah, we looked.
Yeah, they're difficult.
If I could have found a $4, that's what I would have got, but I couldn't find one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, what we needed, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. And I don't see us changing anytime soon, but you heard what I said earlier, best made plans, because we did see a Super C.
I would love that Super C.
Yeah. If this company IPOs and we hit it rich.
Yeah, it's like 3 times the cost of what we have.
Yeah, they're nice.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Let's see here. Leaving your outside lights on at night.
That was the question. Yes.
I got, you know what? There's
that a
no
problem?
rule against it that I've seen in RV parks. No RV park is telling you that. It's one of those things where some people say it's common etiquette to turn off your lights. Now, I've seen some that have tons of lights. I can see why people say that, but most of them just like have a door light or something like that if you're going to take your dogs out. And I don't know if there is we do leave ours on from time to time because we're taking the dogs out sometimes throughout the night, but it's not that much light. And in fact, most of the places that we stay at have pole lights almost at every site. So there's already those lights, but some people are pretty, they they are pretty vocal about, oh, that's completely rude. So just nobody's ever said anything to us about it, but we see different channels that are saying things, have common sense, don't do this, don't do that. And we don't really agree with all of that etiquette.
What about, and this is my one question is, kids and dogs, is there a time that you put them in? I mean, like,
Don't let them
we're
bark
so
all
used
night.
to an HOA at our house, where like county and even local HOA rules, noise levels and stuff like that. Like they don't want to hear dogs and they don't want to hear kids. 8 o'clock at night, or is there any sort of standard RV rule?
I think that the campgrounds establish their own quiet hours.
It's usually 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I would say 10 is probably the norm.
And they're probably not going to complain if you have the kids out by a campfire and you guys are giggling, making s'mores at 10 o'clock. But if the dog's barking, and it kind of depends on the neighbors that are around you and the vibe of that campground, right?
Yeah.
If you're in a campground, say in Florida, that's mainly people that are there for more of the, it's like snowbirds. If you're going to Florida to get away, you're leaving your home in suburbia somewhere and going to an RV resort that's kind of like just your suburbia subdivision, and they're not there for camping. They're there for just to get away from the cold weather. It's not as cool a vibe, not as camping vibe as if you're going to a state park or a KOA or anything like that.
What do you regret bringing? Y'all are like, all of y'all are.
Put it more.
My first year, I regretted bringing the second display. I thought I needed a second display for work. It was very important in the beginning, but after I got the talk down on my demonstrations, now I can do it one screen, no problem. So we're really, it just sat in the box most of the time. We didn't get it out.
Mm-hmm.
What do I regret not bringing? My guitar. I'll probably bring my guitar and amp and stuff this time. How about you?
I don't know that I have anything that I
thought Chris was going to say Brad.
feeling right here.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, this is
I hear you don't want to overpack, and you go onto these websites and it's like, oh, you got to have these stackable things this and stackable things that. And it's based on pretty much family needs and the way you cook and the way you do you. And, you know, what I'm concerned about is overpacking an already heavy trailer.
Let you do that.
Yeah, he won't let me do that anyway. But we are about to go into South Carolina to Montana. And I'm just concerned about not having enough warm clothes.
You'll be fine.
Well,
And he's saying we're going to be fine.
If it gets cold.
Because he wears shorts in 30 below zero.
If it gets cold, go south.
We'll go south for the winter. We'll be those snowbirds.
exactly.
Follow the ducks.
We'll follow the ducks.
Maybe we should make that our name, Following the Ducks.
Oh,
Hey, good one. I like that.
follow the geese. That's
all right. I don't see any questions in the chat. That's most of the things I said. I guess just to kind of summarize on that, some of the etiquette, we haven't really had any issues. We did have a couple of different campgrounds, and actually both of them were around here in Missouri. One had some workers that the people that owned the campground actually owned a construction company, and I think they had some of their workers staying there, but they like to party late at night. And I don't know if we complained or somebody complained. Yeah. And but they took care of that, I think, because we moved from that spot, and then we also later heard that somebody complained and they took care of that. And then we had one out KOA in Eureka here in Missouri, where 2 nights in a row these guys were up till 3 or 4 in the morning.
But I think the problem with both of those was that we still had the coffee shop for
and you had to get up in the morning,
and I had to get up early, so people party until 1, 2 o'clock in the morning just was not cutting it for me.
And it's really For me,
And I
don't
can hear. He
I don't
can't
wake up.
hear.
I take my hearing aids out. I go to sleep. I don't hear it.
Yeah.
So it really only bothers her, but it's but I don't like it bothering her. So, but that's all we've had in 2 years, really.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this: you don't want to cross some people. We have some friends. I'm not going to name names. Somebody complained about something, and
no.
Well,
be nice to each other.
He may have, just be nice. But this guy will get you. He'll put poop underneath the handle of your door if your animal poops on his lawn. He says that he's never done that, but he did get some of our dog poop and put it on somebody's lawn because they complained about his cats. And I'm not going to say
what are we assume dogs on leashes.
Cats are supposed to be as well.
Okay.
At most of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it says, and most of them say in there that cats are not supposed to be running around.
Hey, I got a question. This is a serious question, though. Okay, leashes. Instead of leashes, has anybody ever, and maybe you guys should do this, we have this thing, or we had one. I don't think we have it anymore, but you can buy them at PetSmart, and they work fantastic. We had it in Colorado because we didn't have a fence. And it plugs into the wall, and the dogs wear a collar, and you can adjust the distance, and you can put little flags out to where the dogs are smart. They learn really quick, but it's a wireless
dog wireless fence.
Yeah, I know about those. I have no experience with them, but I think it would depend on the RV park because many of them say no loose animals. I don't know if that would qualify. Some of them say they can't be on a lead more than 6 feet.
Hey,
that's what I seem to see most often.
Yeah.
Most of them have dog parks that you can take the dogs to as well.
Yeah.
And actually, I wanted to point out here and just clarify, we love the Eureka KOA. We've stayed there other times as well. The creek that runs through there, we absolutely love it. We just didn't like our neighbors the one time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's about it. You guys have any more questions before we go?
Mm-mm.
I don't think so.
We don't.
I'm sure as we get closer, we're going to have tons.
Yeah, we can do it again when you guys are ready to go on Bon Voyage. You might want to have a checklist.
We'll just go. We don't need no checklist. We're just going to go.
Tina.
Little folder all for the checklist.
Quit being so OCD. Be spontaneous.
See, that's not what that meant. That message is not what that meant. That message was be spontaneous during your travel. Checklist. We need checklists.
I got checklists. There, yes. Set up camp. Let's eat.
Yes. We will. And we will show you the video and you can post it. Yes. If it does this 43 foot and our drive, you've seen the layout of our territory.
So you need to get your channel started so you can set up live in your truck. So when you're on the way out there, you can turn on live and talk to people and show them what your experience is.
I'll have to have a bleeper, one of them.
Yeah. You might as well just turn the sound off.
Oh yeah.
What did everyone forget on their first trip?
On their first trips. I think that's where I was going with this was, is there anything you regret, but is there anything that you wish you had on your first trip?
Well, if I forgot something, it was nothing I can remember.
They just had to go get it.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, I forgot toothpaste. We got to run to the store. Yeah, I don't.
In our case, we forgot this. There's a Cabela's, there's a Walmart, there's whatever.
Yeah. You can boondock at Cabela's. They even have dump stations, right?
They have dump and water. Yeah.
And water, yeah.
Oh, do they really?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are they okay with it? Are there?
Yeah, they're fine with it. Otherwise, they wouldn't have dump and water.
That's the other question is, oh, stop it. That's the other question is I've heard horror stories about when people boondock in Walmart or whatever, they get in trouble for having their slides out.
We've
We've never gotten any trouble. We've seen people that do that, and every once in a
Well,
while,
we've seen people that have set up their lawn
We see people
chairs
that
and rug and everything.
we did. We see people with a
Seriously,
fifth wheel. They
They
disconnect.
disconnected
They
their
got their stabilizers
rugs
down.
out.
They got their awning out, and they're
Got
not.
the barbecue going, the smoke rolling.
Yeah,
We did. We
they
saw
were
it.
nowhere to be found. But I mean, every
They
time
were in Walmart.
their truck was gone, Mark.
Oh,
But I mean, every time that we've boondocked at Walmart,
Never
we
had
put
any
our
issues.
slides out. You know, we've got slides on both sides.
We don't always put them both out. It depends on how long we're going to stay. Sometimes we'll put just the bed one out we put out before without putting the other slide out.
Very rarely.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of times, I mean, you're still, when you park, you're going to park and take up a bunch of spots because you got to park. And if you put your slides out, you're not going outside of those spots, so you're not sticking out.
Where
But
do
again,
you normally park?
that's just my opinion.
What's that?
Some
Where do
people
you normally park? I mean, is there like an allotted spot?
right next to the handicap.
usually over to the side.
Right up
Up on the
front.
front door.
I doubt that.
The handicap spots
Right
are
up front
bad.
where it says fire lane. Great place. Yeah.
Trouble. Are you serious?
No.
No, that's far back.
Yeah, we haven't had any issues.
Just
But
kind of out far away.
there are sometimes some sketchy vans or
Yeah.
these some that
Ones that have
that
been
look
there
like
for
they've
months.
been there for a long time. In fact, when we were in Bushnell, Florida, the RV park was right next to a Walmart, and there was a little motorhome, Class C
Little
motorhome
Class
there.
C. He
And he was
there
there
for
a whole time. We were there 2 or
Yeah.
3 months. He was just sitting in Walmart parking lot. He basically lived there.
I'm going to ask this is very stupid and probably very ignorant, but what about, do y'all have anything on your RVs for security?
That is an ignorant question.
That is so
I'm just
dumb.
kidding. Dang. Do we have anything for security?
Like ring doorbell
We have
or-
2 German Shepherds.
Well, we have 2 German Shepherds, and they will definitely tell us when somebody. But I'm telling you, like, ugh.
We have a fly swatter made by Smith & Wesson.
Yeah.
We did
Like,
not.
Cameras. There's no. You don't have.
Yeah. Well, I do set up the cameras from time to time to watch the dogs, and these you can stream either on a site like this, or you can just get apps where you can watch from your phone, and you can get relatively cheap. What's the one we called? Wise.
Mhm.
We got some Wise cameras that we can do that with.
Okay, because like if we're gonna go to a national park and we're leaving the dogs in the trailer locked up or
Yeah,
whatever,
we get idea to watch the dog. Yeah.
running.
We do that with our dogs as well, right?
Mhm.
So you use like a Wise camera app?
Wise, yeah.
But
Okay.
you can do it with a GoPro and StreamYard here that we're using too. So you can set up a GoPro. The only problem with the GoPros or a laptop, if you use it, you got to have them connected to power. But the Wise does too. It just has to be connected to power. If you lose power, then it doesn't work.
It just has to be plugged into.
Yeah, it's got to be plugged into a USB.
Okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of options for that. As far as the other security, we didn't used to, but we did get a handgun to take with us, just
Yeah.
because. Well, when I go out of town, I want to make sure she's pretty handy with a gun. So that way, if I'm out of town, I don't worry as much. And if we start boondocking and you're camping on the beach by yourself, isolated, you could be a target. So it's up to you. I've heard that people do get like bear spray or wasp hornet spray, and they and I even thought about that instead of the gun thing, but we went the gun route.
No, I was just curious too, because like we've got dogs and we do plan on going to West Yellowstone or Mount Rushmore or places like that. And how can you keep an eye on your camper?
You just
I know, but so Wise. You
Okay.
the RV for your pets. Oh, that's
Yeah, there's a few different things. I could show Mark what I do with the laptop.
she doesn't know this.
A phone
The
or an
RV we got is we can control everything in our RV right here.
Yeah, you really can. You can. And in fact,
Oh,
artist on the road says you can even set up a monitor that it basically watches the temp. So obviously you can't necessarily tell if the AC is on or off just by the camera. This will actually tell you what the temperature is. So if you have some type of failure, you know that you need to get back because the AC is off. And that's our puppy, Hocus Pocus.
obviously there are things that I don't know about our RV that he does. And so, yes.
This is a Wise camera here.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's got a USB. You plug it into the USB and then you connect it to an app and it works fine. I think that was $50, $40.
Yeah, it wasn't very much at all.
Wasn't very much at all. And it's worked well.
Other little things, like a lot of people are saying cell boosters or any of that kind of stuff. You recommend anything that
I got a cell boost because when I started, I got this job after I had walked away from the other job. I didn't say this earlier. We went on the road. We were on a tight budget, and then I got this job, which gave us the ability to not have to be on such a tight budget, and I can work from anywhere. But I was definitely not wanting to screw it up, so I made sure that I got Verizon and AT&T Wi-Fi, and I also got a WeBoost. Now the WeBoost,
I've heard about this.
I haven't tested it enough to know. I know the first time I tested it, it was giving me a couple more bars and a few more megs. And I think there's probably times where the signal's been pretty poor and it helped boost it a little bit. But it hasn't been something where you go somewhere and you don't have any signal and it automatically finds a signal and boosts it, right? You have to have some sort of a signal and it boosts it a little bit. It helps you out. For me, it's worth it, but I haven't tested it a lot to see.
It's about time now, I think.
I only had like one spoon.
Stuff that they got the meds, dog.
Yeah, and Chris says, Brad and Diana, she says, you guys need a checklist. We were talking about checklists. Forgot butter and spices, steaks and knives.
Who said we use steak?
Forgot our meds.
Forgot the dog.
Forgot a dog crate, dog
It's a good
ties.
thing they didn't forget the dogs.
Just about every trip we forget something. Good thing there's a Walmart across the country.
No, well, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. I think we've done so much thinking that we're right now overthinking.
Yeah.
Is that normal?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Not for
a little bit less than 3 weeks away from our next trip.
And I'm already packing.
Yeah, and she said the other day, we're 3 weeks away. If we were 2 weeks away, I'd be freaking out. So we're in that 1 week window. We better get a lot done this week.
Okay, but in all fairness, it's because I have to
do everything.
figure out pretty much.
y'all are leaving in 3 weeks?
Yeah. So I have to figure out what I've taken out of the RV and brought into the house that now needs to go back into the RV. And then the stuff that I've gotten out here, now I've got to put away so people can't get to it when we're gone. And,
Yes.
it's all good.
Yes.
What?
Do you know where the pork is? Where the stuff that you cooked last night?
Yeah, it's all
Why are
frozen.
y'all-
Go.
Y'all are like crazy.
Well, when you miss dinner, you go hungry.
I didn't miss dinner. I did.
I was going to say you were going to go, but this could get good. This could go viral here with you beating the kids or something.
Yeah. This is going to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Any recommendations? Any thoughts?
No,
I think
we're
to-
fine. We're good.
No,
I'm just gonna.
everybody else, you're going to wing it. Parking a 40
I'm gonna act like I know what I'm doing.
as we run over bushes and landscaping, trying to get this thing. This is going to be funny. I'm going to video it.
I heard that fifth wheels are really easy to maneuver, actually.
But I'm people that
But they're so freaking big.
because they turn too sharp.
Oh, yeah.
They
What'd
damage.
you say?
They turn too sharp.
People
back up.
damage their truck because they turn too sharp. Not
I've
to
seen
make
it.
you
Bad, I'll be fine.
I love his. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Tina,
Says the guy.
show me the video of
I'm going to make sure State Farm
Can you
is,
wait till we're done?
we're all good. I'm going to make sure that we are covered with State
We're
Farm.
good.
Yeah,
We're good. We're good. We're fine.
we're
You
good.
want State Farm. Mayhem can still get you.
I've already talked to Tom.
My insurance agent wants to go with us. He's so
That Allstate protects you from mayhem. State Farm does not protect you from mayhem. Only Allstate.
See? Oh, Allstate?
Yeah, but he has Jake from State Farm.
Oh, that's right.
We've got Mayhem.
Do you want? Okay, who's better looking, Jake from State Farm or
Mayhem.
Mayhem? Yeah, no kidding.
What?
We're just having stupid conversations.
Yeah.
I'm teasing.
We're
No, we're good. I mean, I think we're so. We got our trailer.
I've got it all under control. You just go for the ride.
Sorry, Tina.
God, pray for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys.
Lots of prayers.
That's what I told Brad one time in my FJ40 when we were cruising down the highway and all the lights went out. Like, it's
That was
dark.
the Dancing with a Man
That was
night.
Dancing with the Man night.
That whole night has got to be the most crazy night.
Yeah.
Say prayers.
Yeah, the lights going off while we're driving. Myron's in the back because he didn't have a seat rolling around in that vehicle. Oh, wow. That was some kind of night.
It was. That was a good night.
Well, we'll keep you guys posted. Is there anybody else on here that's new, or is it just us?
It's just us. Everyone knows what they're doing. They're all taking bets right now. How long before they have an accident?
That's a good one. We have not.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Right now, there's a pool.
I don't even know what. How do you
Don't
know?
say
Because
it.
if you're like, it's all good, I got it under control. I'm going to park this thing in
They're
the
buying
driveway.
squares.
They
We
are
haven't
buying-
damaged anything major.
Ugh.
We haven't damaged anything major. She thinks I'm jinxing us.
Now we're gonna.
We had
You
a
don't say that.
popped a tire hitting
I
the
told
curb.
him.
I popped a tire hitting the curb because she wanted to go to Brahms.
I wanted a milkshake.
Turn right here.
No, that's not how it went.
No,
It was Chris's fault. I did it.
His
I
wife
didn't
said,
have
"Oh,
Meg.
don't hit that."
You try to do what your wife says, and you get blamed for it, but it was really her fault.
You watch some of these new RV channels. There are some that like
There's
on
a
their
gnat.
first time out,
Wait, there's a gnat.
they wreck something or crash something. So be careful, go slow. Hopefully it won't happen to you. Yeah, I just saw somebody the other day that actually they were not newbies. They had just traded in a travel trailer for a fifth wheel, and they
If something
crashed
happens to
the fifth
Class
wheel
A,
on
do
the
we
first.
get do
It
we
wasn't
get
a big
super
crash, but they damaged the fifth wheel. They backed into something.
C? If something happens to the Class A, do we get a Super C?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. But yes, he told me the other day he was actually thinking about it.
I thought so.
Me?
I thought so.
No.
No.
Well, if the insurance would pay for it, but I don't think the insurance is going to let you take a $140,000 unit and then trade it for a $590,000 unit. I don't think so.
Dang, is that how
That'd be
much?
some good insurance.
That's how much that one is.
It can be.
It,
It's
was-
custom built,
it had a ramp that
hydraulic,
ramp that lifted the bikes up,
stainless
put them
steel.
right in.
It had an internal ladder, so you could
It was
crawl into the
awesome.
roof from the inside of the garage.
Just buy it, Brad. Just buy it.
I know. Gosh,
Like I said,
I mean, it's only money.
this
You can't
pandemic.
take it with you.
that's right. Especially if you don't have any.
Right, we're only 32 minutes over time here, so
Yeah.
we appreciate
Yeah,
everybody's.
we're sorry. I've had a lot of questions too.
No, that's
No,
all right.
you're fine.
I enjoy talking to you guys. Do you have more?
No, I'm so overwhelmed.
Your
right now.
checklist is all checked off.
I think so.
So
We're
you
gonna
guys
more,
have
though. Give me another week and we'll have more.
2 weeks, right?
It could
Yeah.
turn into 3 easily.
Yeah, 2 weeks, and you guys are going to head northern route. You're going.
We're going to head up to I-90. We're going to go from here up through Indianapolis and all the way up to
Go down to the
I-90 and
garden.
then shoot across. Yeah.
You sure you don't want to go to the south route and meet us in like the?
Yeah, it's too hot. It's too hot.
The Grand Canyon too
You got a
hot.
generator and AC.
I know, but I got to get out of here. It's hot. It's already hot. Today it was like 93 degrees and 85% humidity. Miserable.
Trying to work outside. We're
Yeah.
We will run into you guys sometime, probably in maybe
Well,
late.
we'll eventually go up that route. We're going to be going up that route, and we're going to be out in Washington, Oregon towards the middle of
Which way are we coming home?
July. We haven't figured out our route home. I think it's dependent on where they end up. I'd like to go by and see them for a day or two on our way back if possible.
We ought to pick a place and like do a 2-week stay somewhere.
Well, we probably won't be able to do it for a week, at least on this trip. But
Yeah.
at some point, we definitely should do that.
Mhm.
Whatever it works out for, everybody, but
Yeah.
that'd be fun. Park right next to each other. That'd drive the other campers insane.
Yep.
Well, once you get that lot in, we'll be dropping into your place fairly often for 2, 3,
Yeah.
4 weeks stay.
Oh, we plan on putting a pad in.
Yeah, I'll
We
be putting
do.
a pad in.
We're putting a pad in.
I'm gonna put
Just
one
to-
in. I'm
just
gonna
to
put
help
one that says
people.
Brad and Katrina's pad only.
Oh,
Everyone else has-
Nice.
That's going to be the name of the
It's-
place.
yeah, the Solomon.
Solomon Place.
Solomon Place.
And then we'll get one. We all need to put in 3 because Don and Delia have 3.
Mhm.
We could go stay in North Carolina for a month or 2. You could come with us, stay with them. Then they could come stay here. And you can come here.
Stay in North Carolina.
We should not introduce you to Don.
No.
Don's probably the only person
No,
I've
no,
met
no, no, no.
that's way crazier than you.
3 pads would be cool. And then we
But I'm
could
not
do-
crazy though.
But we're not crazy.
Okay.
Chris, you've never seen me be crazy. Wait, let me think. Hang on.
Oh, yes. I bet she
Oh.
knows.
Lonnie's going away party, or whoever's going away party that was.
Are you talking about the bridge?
No, at the Mexican restaurant. What was
Where
that
you
called?
had this drink made up for me when I showed here, drink this, and I wouldn't drink it. You had
the
some
shot,
kind of crazy
the
thing made
shot
up.
of something.
That was right after, like a week after we did the Tabasco, and I'm like, I'm not doing hot crap with you again. And
He doesn't remember.
I know.
Doesn't remember. It's not because of old age.
Yeah,
And
I
then,
know.
no kidding, this lady with one leg, she had a wooden leg.
Oh my God, I remember her.
Yeah,
She was
now he
crazy.
remembers.
She drank it. Here, drink this, and she goes, "I've had a bad day." Whew. And then she went, "Whoa."
And then didn't she ask me to tighten her leg or tighten her
That was
foot?
me. She worked for me, and she had a wooden leg and a wooden foot,
Her
truly
name was
wooden.
Eileen.
And sometimes the foot would
That was
come
funny.
loose, and she walks into my cubicle and said, "Would you screw my foot, please?"
Gosh.
Who else is on the channel right now? Just us 4?
Well, there's a few people here. They might be leaving now.
They're dropping like flies.
Yeah. But that's one of those things you don't think an employee will come in and say.
Yeah.
Brad was telling everybody about the girl that used to work for him with a wooden leg. And she walked into his office and he said, "Will you screw my foot, please?"
She was a good worker. She was funny.
Yeah, she was hilarious.
Good person.
I love good people.
There's several of us here.
Yeah.
Whoops. Is there anybody up there or several of us here?
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're looking forward to meeting everybody on the road.
Yeah,
It'll be fun.
We really are.
it'll be fun.
And
All
as
right, I think
we're going to learn as we go. You know, we're not.
We don't need to learn nothing. We got it all. We're good.
No.
so. As far as us, we will be on again. Well, actually, I'll be on Wednesday night. She's going to go down and help build a she shed.
That is next week.
Oh, it's next week. Never mind. She will be on Wednesday night. We will be doing our trivia and game night Wednesday night. We're going to start an hour earlier. I usually start falling asleep almost at the end. So
Hey, if y'all put one of them heated garden hose things up again, I'm gonna win it again, okay? Because I gave it away last time. 'Cause I said I will never own an RV. Remember that?
No, we remember that.
Now I need one. I'm going to freaking Montana and I ain't got one, and I want
Yeah.
one.
Duh.
that goes back to best made plan. So I don't know if any of you were on one of our first lives. We did our first giveaway. And we did a giveaway for a heated hose. We had a heated hose, 25-foot heated hose, and we gave that away in a drawing. And Mark actually won it, and he said, "No, give it to somebody else because I'm never going to use that hose." And that was what, 6 months ago?
6
A
or
lot
7 months ago, yeah.
6 months. 6 months.
And I wasn't even in the drawing, and you were like, you invited me to see your channel, and you
Yeah,
said,
why did you show up?
you should just do it. So I said, all right, throw me in there, and then I won it.
Yeah.
Yep, that was his sign, and he
Yep.
neglected his sign.
It was a sign.
Yep.
Oh, I was saying Wednesday night we'll have our trivia. We're starting at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. And then Thursday afternoon, Aaron Jemison and myself do a lunch and learn. Basically, that's something, Mark, that you guys might want to watch if you don't know a whole lot about YouTube and setting up channels and stuff right there, because we've done 4 or 5 episodes. So you can go back to our videos and see Lunch and Learn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it'll probably walks you through how to set up channels and get feedback from some other people in the room, because we did it in a live session just like this. So we'll probably be having another one this Thursday, and then after that, I think Sunday is the last day of the month, and we'll probably have a short 1-hour live there to end the May contest and trivia. And then next month, we're not going to be doing scheduled lives because we're going to be taking a trip with our grandkids. We will just be going live whenever we feel like it. So plan on going live when we're traveling a little bit with the kids, and maybe when we do
going live
some,
on the road.
you're not going live on the road?
I would never go live on the road. Everything that I do's got to be edited.
I
Yeah.
I concur.
You concur?
He needs to be edited.
Everything that we do will be edited. And we can do some live things like this. That's
Oh yeah, we could do live things like this, but yeah.
We can do private sessions, so at least we can watch you. So you could go live and just say unlisted or private, and then
No, you've seen me make too many mistakes in my life.
And we're gonna watch him back this 43-foot trailer into our drive.
I'm going to do that at midnight so nobody sees it.
Oh, that'll be fun. In the dark.
We have a hard time
we
seeing.
have somebody from Morocco. Medflow from Morocco. Welcome. Thanks
Morocco, no
for
kidding.
wrapping up our talk on RV life.
Yeah, artist on the road said you also said you'd never have an RV.
Yeah. You'd never have an RV.
Really?
You said you'd never go live, and then you said, here, I'll put it on the screen. She heard you just a minute ago. So you'd never have
Said you never- I like her. Him or her, I like it.
I don't know. I think she's a blonde, but yeah, it's a blonde.
That's a blonde lab. Cute puppy. I like it.
She's our trivia ringer.
I like it.
Yeah, she wins the trivia last month. She did, and she's right up there with Sue from Lucky Dog this month. So,
Sweet.
Nice.
Mad Gab. If you ever play Mad Gab, she's awesome at it, along with our daughter. All right, guys. I think
I'm going to concur. What started the video? Nice haircut, Christina.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Saying, hey, join
I'm going to
up.
grow mine out.
That's cute. I like her.
Good.
I wish I could.
See, now I can just.
I've got this one little stragglers right here, like one little tuft hair right here hanging on right there.
We need to have some olive oil on that thing.
The rest of my hair said that it's receding. These guys said, no,
What are they running from?
leave no man on the battlefield.
Starting off on your
I'm
back.
sorry you all had to see that. I'll put the hat back on. All right. Good night, all. Good night.
Good
Mark.
night.
Good night. Thank you.
Yeah,
Love,
I appreciate it.
love and hugs and kisses. Long distance.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Okay.